Well, it really had to do with Petey's voice. I was at a point in my life and career where I needed Petey's voice. I needed that kind of uncensored, spontaneous, loud voice to speak for me in a way as an artist. Yeah, it felt like a moment not to be safe and to explore that. We've been going through a period of time where we're all so careful about what we say and everything is so politically correct. And I wanted Petey's voice. Well, it was very important to me. Yeah, it was very important to me because at the time that I really got involved in it, it was a time when people were very, very, very afraid to speak out. You might be misquoted, you might be misconstrued, you might be called anti-American,
or recorded,
or recorded. It might be used against you, and so everybody got very measured, particularly in our industry. Everybody get very, very measured about what they said, and to some degree, it was really frustrating because sometimes. You feel like you have a rage inside, or you have a lot to say, and yet it comes out in these measured kind of phrases, sound bites, and so I wanted that spontaneous voice. Let's remind people of what that was like.
Because that decade, certainly I wasn't even born, but that was I say that was a time to be alive because that's when people stood up. Americans stood up for whatever they believed in. Vietnam War, Americans stood up and said, no, bring the troops home. Today we're afraid to do it because during that decade we lost so many leaders. And people are afraid to take that kind of stand because the message is you stand up, you're going to catch a bullet.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it was sort of beaten out of us, you know what I mean? And I think the universe is hungry for that again right now. The time is now, Like you said, the timing is perfect for this. It's not like I'm being handed anything. I have to fight for everything. I'm not afraid. I think a lot of the characters that I take on are racy characters, and I'm not safe. You know what I mean? In my personal life, I take risks. So I'm not afraid to take the makeup off, take the weave out, and do it dirty. I'm not afraid as long as the character has something to say, as long as the character is going to move in a way and speak in a way. And because I feel like certain people are chosen for a reason. Everybody, there's so many talented artists floating about in the industry, but there are certain ones that are chosen for whatever reasons, because they touch in a way that maybe somebody else can't. And I just take what I do very seriously, and I really lose myself in the characters, and I'm not afraid to expose the character's pain, which in turn means exposing some of my pain, because, if audience they pay their money to have a cathartic experience, and if they don't walk away feeling my character reciting lines or singing a song or at the water cooler the next day, if they're not talking about the performance of the movie, then I feel like I failed. I take it very seriously. She's a fictional character.
She's a composite character.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
She's a composite, I guess, of different women.
Right,
that
she represents different women.
Yeah.
Why was it important?
I mean, like you said, two of the greats, and it's incredible, incredible because I like to be challenged. I'm not lazy. I'm up for a fight. I'm up for a good challenge. And when you're working with the likes of Terrence Howard and Don Cheadle, you better bring your A game, or the camera will be dirty over your shoulder and on the back of your head.
And Martin Sheen.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Martin Sheen was like, that little girl. That little girl.
No, it took him a few days to he didn't know who I was. Because, Suge was so, I see dead people. And then, Vernell is so, ha-ha, and the big old afro and the makeup. And it took him a while before he realized who I was. And then I remember the moment when he got it, and he was like, oh, my God. you're that actress from Hustling Film. And the rest of the movie, he was like looking at me like this. I felt like he was watching me in the scenes. Like we would be doing the scene and he would be looking like, oh my God.
No, we went back and forth on Kathy. We went back and forth on Kathy, and I was still trying to get Kathy in up until right about before we started shooting. But the fact of the matter was, I was forgetting my own discipline, which I very much imposed on the story, which was to keep it between the essential relationships of the characters, and to bring in where she comes chronologically in time. To bring her in would have been jarring. So we pay homage to her, you know. Dewey was available for not only all the actors but every department. So the production designer talked to Dewey, costume designer talked to Dewey, everybody, he was our resource. And so I had met with him and I was very informed by the language he used in talking about it, because I was looking for emotional authenticity. And so I was led by his language, the way he talked about it. And he also he talked to Chiwetel, met with Chiwetel and Vondi and Don, and you know, everybody used him as a resource, and he was great.